Hello, my name is Stephen Olaide Ogunlade, and this is my video submission for 6.5 SQL interview demonstration. So the first question is to explain what SQL means to a non-technical person. Very briefly, SQL means structural query language, and it's a language with which you can communicate with the database that are designed based on SQL architecture. So what do I mean by this? A database typically is like a system which saves information and data, and the way through which you as a user can communicate to that system, in this case a database, to ask questions, to input new record, or even to update existing record. The way you can do this is through the use of SQL. So it's just like a language of communication or a medium of communication between you as the user and the database system, which is typically an information system or a data storage system. So secondly is to talk about the different keys in SQL database. Before this um, question, I know that there are primary keys, um, foreign keys, and then we have candidate key or alternate key. But during the course of this, I got to discover that there are many other keys. Primary keys are unique identifier for each record in a database, implying that any values under this row has to be unique. It cannot be null because it identically and uniquely identifies each record. And it can be used in a situation whereby you want to have a unique identifier for every record, that such identifier cannot be repeated. And then the foreign key, it's like a referenced key when you want to link a child data to the parent data. In the case of primary key, the value has to be unique, but in the foreign key has to be in a child table and the key can be repeated, such that in a situation whereby you have a user account that has users and then you have the order table that has every orders that are being made by that user. Definitely in the user table, you expect the user to has only one record and just one user ID, but in the others table, there are possibility that the user is going to have a lot of order, more than one, more than two, and that order has to be referenced to that user using the user ID. So the user ID can be repeated in the others table. There is serving as a foreign key, linking that order table to the user account in the users table. So in the users table, the user ID cannot be repeated, but in the others table, it can be repeated based on the number of orders. So apart from that foreign key, we have alternate key, and then apart from alternate key, we have candidate key, which can be used interchangeably. The importance of these two type of keys in a situation whereby in a table you want to have two columns that are unique. In the case of primary key, you can only have one column with the primary key. But when you set up alternate key, you can have two columns. Let's say in the user table, for instance, you want the user email and the username to be unique, such that every user have to create or register an account with a unique email. At the same time, they have to create a unique username. So in such a situation is when the candidate key or the alternate key can be very used and be applicable. So apart from this list of these keys, there are other type of keys that are not majorly used in practical sense. Many of them find their application in theoretical application. And some of these keys include the composite key. Some of these key include unique key, which is typically like a primary key to uniquely identify a record or a row. And apart from that, we have the super key and then we have the surrogate key. Now, moving to the next question that talks about the different join in SQL. Now, to illustrate join, you have to know that join exists between two tables, table A and table B. Table A being on your left and table B being on your right. So the first type of join to get to know here is left join. Left join brings all the record from the left table and only the matching record from the right table. After that, you have the right join. Right join brings all the record from the right table and only the matching record from the left table. After these two type of join, you have the inner join, which brings only the matching record alone. Apart from the inner join, you have the full outer join, which brings all the rows in both the table A and table B together. You also have the cross join, which is all combination. And then we have some type of join that are related to set operation, and this is called union or union OR. This append rows from queries together. So you can union the result of a particular query to the result of another query. This is also a form of join. Apart from that, we have the self join, which means a table is joined to himself. But basically, the most commonly used are the right join, the left join, the inner join, the full outer join, and then the union, which has to do with set operation. Then after that, what the next question is to talk about the importance of data integrity when it comes to SQL database design. The data integrity in SQL and database generally has to be set by the definition of your data type and ensuring your constraints are properly set. And this is important because this helps to ensure the accuracy of your results. If the primary key is properly set on, let's say, the email column, that helps you to ensure that emails cannot be repeated and you can reliably know that your email columns are unique. So this helps to ensure accuracy of data and helps to maintain consistency across tables. And that is why it's important that you ensure data integrity while determining your database and then while designing your database. It also helps prevent data loss and corruption. And then it also helps to support reliable decision making because, for instance, if you know that you have a primary key set on the username column and you know it has to be unique, imagine, so you can easily count the number of usernames you have in your user table to be able to easily determine the number of users you have reliably because that constraint was properly set. So it always helps to support reliable decision making. It also helps to enhance security and access control, and then data integrity as a. And thank you very much for your time.